Hey guys, it's Jessica, and today we're finally doing my dupes video. I've been hinting at this for a while. I've been working on this for quite some time. I've done a lot of dupe videos on my channel. I will link my most recent ones down below. I work hard on these and I kind of take it seriously. And the reason I take it so seriously is I'm a firm believer that you don't have to spend money on expensive products all the time. Regardless of whether you can afford them or not, there are plenty of products that are as amazing as high-end, if not completely better than high-end, and they deserve to be known about. That's not proper grammar, but y'all know what I mean. I've done half of my face high-end and half of it drugstore. I'll give you a minute. Place your bets down below. Which side do you think is which? But I also, of course, did demos of these. So as I'm talking about each product, you will see every single one being applied to my face today. And we're gonna do a wear test. We're gonna go to Costco today. It's a rainy day. I'll be checking in so you can see how each side is looking, how each product is performing versus the other. And as always, there will be prices and links below. Okay. So the first product I wanted to talk about is a very new one that was added to my dupes list on my little notes app. And it is a dupe for the $44 Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter for a superstar youth glow. Now this line has 7 different shades. This is not something that's like a coverage product, but I have the shade number 1 Fair. So the way this is described is you can use it under your foundation, you can use it alone, you can use it on the high points of your face, you can mix it with your foundation, but what it's going to do is give that glow factor to your skin, which I love and I know a lot of you guys love. Charlotte Tilbury's packaging is always so ridiculously beautiful and you feel so bougie wearing it. But it has this giant doe foot. And then the dupe I found is the Milani Soft Focus Glow Complexion Enhancer. This one only has 3 shades. I have the shade number 1, Nude Glow. When it comes to shade range, Charlotte Tilbury definitely wins that round. But the packaging of this is also beautiful. It's not glass, but it's this really pretty squeezy tube, but it does have a pump. So I think packaging wise, these are both gorgeous. I need to take a second and get some Wawa. I just said Wawa and I meant it and I'm really embarrassed. Who am I talking to? I don't even say Wawa to Gigi, my like almost 1-year-old. So let's talk about the way these look. So today I first applied the Milani to this side of my face. So as you watch, I just take my fingertips and I kind of blend it in to my cheek area and my forehead. I do typically avoid my nose because my nose, as it is kind of naturally red, a little bit greasier, even though I really do have more normal to dry skin. So I don't put these kinds of glowy products on my nose most of the time. So it just adds that really nice luminescence to the skin without shimmer. Well, the Charlotte Tilbury one I applied, of course, to the other side of my face. This one, same thing. I blended it with my fingertips, but of course I apply it with the doe foot. I do feel like the Charlotte Tilbury one might be just slightly glowier in the end. As you look at them side by side, I feel like the Charlotte Tilbury one might be slightly glowier, but not to the point that, you know, looking at my face now, I have foundation on top of it. I feel like they both bring out the glow regardless. It still stands out under the foundation in a really flattering way. And so for that reason, I don't have any highlighter on, by the way. I don't feel like you need to spend the money. Do I like this? Yes. Will I buy it again once I run out? Honestly, no. This is just as beautiful. And furthermore, the Milani one has 1.59 ounces. This one only has 1 ounce. So you're getting more than 1.5 times the amount for way cheaper. So this round, Milani wins, but we're gonna see how they wear. So next in line would be foundation. And this is not a new dupe to my channel. I did an entire video dedicated to this product and its dupe, which I will link below. If you really are thinking about spending the money and you really want an in-depth review, go check that video out for sure, because I was very in-depth. But it is the dupe for the $120 La Mer Soft Fluid Foundation. This has SPF of 20. The La Mer foundation has 21 shades on their website, but I only counted 20 on Sephora. So the dupe I found is this Physicians Formula, the Healthy Foundation. So their shade range is a little bit odd. They only have 12 shades. So right off the bat, La Mer beats them shade range wise, but frankly, neither shade range is great. But this is like $16.99 versus $120. I mean, it's like unbelievably different. So the packaging on this one is a giant doe foot applicator. I know that freaks some people out. It doesn't bother me. In fact, for me, it makes it even easier to apply. But back to the shade of this before I show you me applying it. The shade range of the Physicians Formula is odd because I'm in the shade LN4. It's like their 4th shade up out of 12, and I'm usually one of the like lightest. I started by applying the Physicians Formula to the drugstore side of my face here, and I used the giant doe foot. Then I went in with my dampened sponge, and I'm trying not to say the word moist. I know it grosses some of you out, but it's really hard not to say because I'm used to saying it. A damp sponge. So I went in with that, blended it in, and it just is the quickest foundation to blend in ever. It's not a high coverage foundation. This is really max medium. A lot of times when I'm applying it, I'll put on 2 layers of it. But then on the other side, I applied the La Mer, and I just kind of applied some, I just pumped some onto my hand and used my damp sponge to apply it to the other side of my face. I just feel like these both have the same amount of coverage, the same finished look. They're just both gorgeous. They are. The La Mer side is beautiful too. I can't deny that I enjoy using the really expensive La Mer foundation. It's beautiful, but I don't ever feel like they look different. If I were blindfolded, besides the smell, they both have strong smells and they're both very different smells. Besides that, I wouldn't know which one I had applied. Does that make sense? So they're both gorgeous. We'll look at the wear time of these by the end of the day too, because that's gonna be one of the most important factors with this. Okay, this next one's one of my most exciting finds, in my humble opinion. And I think I've talked about this before in a dupe video. I really think I have. But this is a dupe for a newer product. I'll show you what I mean. So it's a brand new product from YSL. It's their Touche Éclat, but it's their high cover radiant concealer. So I have their original, like just Touche Éclat brightening pen is now what they're calling it. Although I think it used to be called concealer. I don't know. And it's just kind of a brightening pen. It really is not a high coverage concealer, not even close. It just kind of brightens the area. It's not going to cover crazy dark circles, but I still enjoy it. But if you've got big things to cover, you would abhor this pen because it's not going to give you what you need. But I don't mind it for brightening certain areas. On a quick day, I will use it as my under eye concealer, and it's just brightening and just covering enough that I feel a little more put together. However, they came out with this new pen, which is their high cover, and they are using the word concealer with this. And while I still think high cover is a comical term for what this does, it is not even close to like the L'Oreal Full Wear Concealer I love, or like the Tarte Shape Tape. I know that's like a benchmark, but it's really high coverage. This is not even close, but it does have a little bit more coverage than the others. So if you were disappointed in the YSL one, the original, you might like this. But I found one that I think does the exact same thing. This is the number 7 Radiant Glow Concealer. I've loved this for years. I just opened a brand spanking new one. So I've repurchased it, and I wear the shade number 10. Same style of applicator, but I've always liked this more than the original YSL because it offered a little bit more coverage. And so when they came out with the YSL like high cover, I'm like, that's gonna be the same thing. And then I bought it, tried it, and I'm like, they are like literally the same thing. I applied the number 7 one to this side. I like to apply this kind of a product with my fingers. It just lends itself better to the heat of your fingertips versus a sponge that's gonna soak up a lot of it. And a brush does okay, but fingers just do better. And it's a beautiful product. You can see it brightened the area. It doesn't cover a ton, but it covers enough. But again, these are not going to be for you if you have like severe under eye things you want to cover. But then when I went to the other side to apply the YSL, same thing. It blends in quickly. The only difference I can find as you look at this side by side, I do feel like the YSL one, the high-end one, is just slightly glowier. Not glowy, it's more dewy. And so in the end, I had to set both of these. I really like both. I will use the YSL one up, but I don't feel this like dying need to repurchase it because I do feel like the number 7 one does the same thing. Next up is eyeliner. So this is a product that you guys had asked me about if it's a dupe for it. So this is me telling you whether it is or not. So the product I deeply obsessed with is the Hourglass 1.5 millimeter mechanical gel eyeliner. This is $18, which for an eyeliner, I think is expensive. And furthermore, you will fly through this thing. I mean, it's creamy and it goes fast. Like I swear to you, I can use one of these up in 2 weeks. And so that's why I'm like $18 for something that lasts me 2 to 3 weeks is insane. So I don't use it every day because I don't want to use it up, but that's ridiculous because I do love it. Anyway, it's a conundrum I'm facing right now. I've been facing like 2 years. So I'm dying to find a cheap dupe for this. Well, what you guys had asked about, it's this NYX Always Keeping It Tight liner. It's just as thin. It's the same kind of millimeters, if you will, 1.5. But let me show you me applying it. So I use the NYX one. I'm basically just trying to go in and I warm this up on my hand because it's not quite as creamy as the Hourglass. But then I went in with it already warmed up and I still struggle to get this to apply the way I'm used to the Hourglass one applying. So when I went in the other side, the Hourglass side, it just glides right on. It's so much creamier. It's so much blacker. And if you want to put one of these on your waterline, the NYX one, I can't, even now, I cannot get it to stick to my waterline. Whereas the Hourglass one, it's so creamy, it just glides right on, but then it doesn't transfer to your lower lash line. So if you don't want it on your lower waterline, that's the answer. I just am still struggling. Yes, I've tried the pink, is it the Maybelline one, that skinny one? It's not as good as the Hourglass, you guys. I'm trying. I'm really trying. So I don't know what to tell you, but I can tell you for certain the NYX one is not a dupe for the Hourglass. It's close, but it's not the same. Let's talk about a product that is better than the high end. So the high end product that I really do love is the IT Cosmetics Tightline Mascara. This is a fresh one, but this is meant to be like a mascara. It's called a 3-in-1 black primer, eyeliner, and mascara. The idea is that you can really wiggle it at the base of your lashes and it can blacken that area, kind of tight line, which is what I was doing with my liner today anyway. I feel like if I really work at it, I can get it to work in that way, and I do really enjoy it. But the way I really end up using this day to day is just for my lower lashes. The dupe is the Wet n Wild Mega Slim Skinny Mascara. This is like $5. And I recently found this, and this one's almost on its last leg. Today I tried it on the top lashes, and you can see it just doesn't really do much. But on the lower lashes is where this shines, and that's literally all that I use this for. It does a great job just kind of separating the lashes, blackening them just enough, but it's not gonna give you those spider lashes. If that's what you want, these aren't gonna be the mascaras for you. But if you just want them to be separated and slightly blackened, you're gonna love this. Now with the IT Cosmetics one, I went in and I did the top lashes as well. And again, it just kind of darkens them on the lower lash line. It gives the exact same effect. And when you look at them side by side, they do the same thing. There's no reason to spend the money on this, especially if you're using it the way I am for such a specific small purpose. It pains me to pay what I pay for this. You know what I mean? So that's why once I've run out of these, I'm probably just going to repurchase the Wet n Wild one. And next up is blush. So this is a classic. It is the NARS blush in the shade Orgasm. This is like a jumbo one they sent over. It's not in the original packaging, but the original one is $30. I think you can still buy, like, if you really wanted this packaging. I saw it on Sephora. It's still there. But it's this beautiful peachy pink blush. I love the NARS blushes. They don't swatch great, which doesn't really matter because you're applying it with the brush anyway. But it's this peachy pink color. You'd almost think it's too deep for someone my skin tone, but it's one of those blushes that really is beautiful on many, many, many skin tones. And it's glowy on its own. So like I said, I don't have a highlighter on today. I have it on this cheek. The dupe I found recently is this Neutrogena Healthy Skin Blush in the shade number 10. Rosy. If you look at these side by side, they don't look like perfect dupes, do they? This one looks peachier, this one looks pinker. But when I swatched them, I saw that they're really, really close. But here's the deal. When you put them on your cheeks, they look exactly the same. So I put the Neutrogena one on and you can see it's got that kind of peachy pink. It's got this gorgeous glow on its own. And then when I put the NARS one on the other side, it looks the exact same. Yes, I used a different brush. I have multiple of my same favorite blush brush. So no worries there. There was no cross-contamination of blushes. They just look the same, you guys. I feel like they wear the same, but again, I'll show you that. I'll prove that to you today. I was ecstatic because I really had already fallen in love with this Neutrogena blush, and this just kind of sealed the deal. It's just as beautiful as the NARS one. Next up is this facial spray. I've had so many of you guys ask for a dupe for the Tatcha Luminous Dewy Skin Mist. Tatcha obviously is insanely expensive. I've almost used this up, and the way I've been using it more than anything, I don't usually set my entire face with this. It's a lot. It's very oily, and that's why when I first initially tried it, I didn't like it. But I've learned to spray a damp sponge with this, and if you blend your concealer in, especially if it's more of a high coverage concealer or a drying concealer, it really helps to kind of meld things together and make it look less crepey, less cakey. Do I have the time to do that every single day? No, I freaking wish. But it really is a cool trick that I've been doing a lot, and that's why I've used a lot of this up. But I found this from the drugstore. This is the L'Oreal Shake and Glow Dew Mist for the face. And packaging of both beautiful. I think the packaging of both of them are gorgeous. The L'Oreal one's better, you guys. It's so much better. So, and I already have a backup of the Tatcha, so I will use it up and I'll use it again. But they're both really good, but they're kind of different. I think the L'Oreal one's better for what I like. Maybe that's what I should say, because the mister on the L'Oreal one the misters are both good, but this one's even finer of a mist. It's so easy to control. I put it on just this side of my face, and you can see it adds a beautiful glow. It dries down even quicker than the Tatcha one does. And like I said, I don't have any highlight on. That is completely the primer I used, the blush, and this. So then when I went in with the Tatcha, you spray way less. So if you're wanting to splurge, the good news is you use less product because you really don't need a lot of the Tatcha. But you can see it added that same kind of a glow. They look the same. Again, I think the Tatcha is a little bit dewier, so you have to be careful. I mean, it's gonna take me forever to go through this and the back of the Tatcha one, but if I'm facing which one I'm gonna repurchase, I love this L'Oreal one, you guys. It's easier to use all over the face. I'm not worried that it's gonna make my face look too glowy. I do recommend shaking it up, considering the name is Shake and Glow Dew Mist, because it does kind of separate otherwise. The Tatcha one, I was looking on Sephora's site. They do have a mini, and I'm talking mini, of this for 20 bucks. If you're dying to try it and you're just like, I just want to do it. If this is 15 bucks and you're really wanting to try the Tatcha, buy the mini one, make sure you like it. It's still $20, which is still expensive. And I think it's like 0.38 ounces for the mini. This full size is 3 full ounces, so you really could save money, but just giving you the option. All right, the gloss dupe that I have found is, actually, okay, I can't even say I found it. A few of you guys recommended it in the comments long ago, and so I tried it and I'm like, yeah, you're right. It's the Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb in the shade Nude Glow. So many people are wanting a dupe for this. Now, in the realm of drugstore prices, a lot of them are creeping up to like 15 bucks, like that L'Oreal spray. So for this high-end gloss to be 18 isn't totally crazy. It's really not. Do I still think that's a lot? Sure, but it's not like it's a $40 YSL gloss. So it already is slightly cheaper comparatively. However, there's this Revlon gloss that's like around 8 bucks. And so it is still a lot cheaper. And it's their super lustrous gloss line in the shade Rosy Future. And this is the exact same on the lips. Let me just show you. So I applied the Revlon one to half of my lips today. Really pretty, kind of a grayish rose. I know that's a weird way to describe it, but it's just this beautiful toned down rosy color. Then I put on the Fenty Gloss Bomb, the original shade in Fenty Glow on the other side. They look the exact same, you guys. Look at that. I mean, they are indiscernible from each other. And so for that reason, you know, if you look at these swatches, this is the Fenty one here. That's the Revlon. Maybe the Revlon is slightly pinker, but can you tell the difference? No. Comfort-wise, they're both comfortable. I think the Fenty one smells so much better. And that's why, myself included, and I know other YouTubers, you smell it and it makes you think of like your childhood and like Bonnabelle like glosses and lip smackers, and there's something about it that like is addictive, and that's why I love them. And I love the other shade Fussy even more. It's more pink toned, but you don't have to spend the money. The Revlon one is very comfortable. It wears off nicely. I think I just featured I just featured this in my April favorites. That's how much I really just genuinely love this gloss. So I love them both. If you already own one, you don't need the other. Does that make sense? But I can't recommend one over the other because they're both really good. So I'm gonna go about my day, get some editing done. We actually need to go shop at Costco today as well. And then we're going to trivia tonight. It's Harry Potter trivia. So the geek in me is quite excited, but I'm gonna go about my day. I'll check in just a little bit. So I like to try to show you my makeup in natural lighting, like by the window. It's a rainy day though, so it's kind of bizarre natural lighting, but just so you can see the drugstore side. This is like right after filming. The drugstore side versus the high-end side. I almost feel like the Physicians Formula covered more than like the La Mer. You can really see some stuff there. So that's something worth noting. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to check in on that, look at the concealer up close. You can see that it doesn't cover a ton. It really, neither one does. They're really more for brightening with slight coverage. And they do that. I mean, there's no doubt, but you can see that it's not a high coverage. But the blushes really look the same, which is very exciting to me. So in the car, we just finished shopping. Tyler, it's a long story. We did vlog the entire thing, so if you are interested, if the video is up, it's our latest Costco vlog, like what we buy at Costco. Anyway, let's check in with this makeup. So remember, this is the expensive side. I feel like they both look pretty similar still. You can see some of my natural oil breakthrough, which I like, and that's because the primer I used wasn't like a primer for longevity or anything like that, the glowy one. So my face is still glowy for sure. The blush is still there. I feel like the La Mer blush, or I feel like the expensive blush is looking a little patchier than the Neutrogena one, and I don't know if I should attribute that to the blush, my application, or the foundation it's over, you know what I mean? But the concealer, again, it's still there. I don't feel like either side looks any better or worse. Lower lash mascara looks the same. That hasn't really changed. Obviously, the lip gloss is gone because, well, come on. I ate like a hot dog here at Costco, had like coffee.
But that's the only way they could have done it.
We did not win at trivia. But it was a fun night. So I figured I would do one last check-in. It is now almost 11 and I'm just about to take my makeup off for the day. And a couple things I've noticed. I think those foundations, they last just fine over primers that are really truly meant to increase the longevity of your foundation wear. But over ones that are just kind of glowy, they last okay. I do think regardless, this side, the high-end side, stayed a little bit glowier, if you notice, than this side did. I don't know if I should attribute that to like the blush, the NARS Orgasm blush, or if it's that Tatcha spray. I'm betting it's the Tatcha spray. But like the liner kind of looks the same on both sides. The concealer, I really think looks the same on both sides too. Maybe slightly higher coverage on the YSL side, but it's so slight. I think the blush, you can go either way with that blush, and I feel like it's like the exact same look. They both lasted the same amount of time. I don't think you can lose by just saving the money there. But all in all, I mean, I think I stand by my thoughts I said earlier when I was kind of showing all of these to you guys earlier today, that you can really go either way with all of them. The only one I really feel strongly that is worth the extra money is that eyeliner. I really do feel like that is creamier, it's so much easier to apply, and it stays on longer. This is the side with that versus this side. So there you go. So I hope that this dupe video was helpful for you. I love doing these. If you have dupes that you would recommend for certain products, please let me know down below. And if there are certain high-end products that you'd love for me to find a dupe of, please let me know, because that I can kind of add to my list of things that I'm on the hunt for, you know? But other than that, I hope you'll come say hi to me on social media. My handle is, it sounded weird, my handle is JamBeauty89 everywhere. And if you'd love to go back in time with me, I'd love for you to check out my other dupe videos that I've done in the past. I will link those below and up in the cards. And other than that, I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.